Justice Department decision on gun law leaves owners confused. A last-minute decision by the U.S. Justice Department has created widespread confusion among gun owners after a federal court ruling took effect, striking down key federal requirements covering suppressors and certain firearms. The case centers on the National Firearms Act, or NFA, a federal law dating back to 1934. For decades, the law has imposed special federal requirements on certain weapons and accessories, including suppressors, short-barreled rifles, and short-barreled shotguns. But a federal judge in Texas has now ruled that important registration and regulatory requirements challenged in the case are unconstitutional. The ruling took effect on August 13th. What made the situation especially surprising was what happened just before the deadline. The Justice Department did not obtain a stay that would have prevented the court's order from taking effect while the legal battle continued. The government also did not immediately appeal the decision before it became effective. That means the judge's order is now in effect, but the consequences are far more complicated than simply saying the National Firearms Act has been eliminated. And that is where much of the confusion begins. The ruling does not necessarily mean that every gun owner in the United States is now exempt from federal NFA requirements. The judge limited the relief to the plaintiffs in the case and certain people or organizations connected to them. One of those plaintiffs is Gun Owners of America, a national gun rights organization with members across the country. That has raised difficult questions about exactly who is protected by the court order and under what circumstances. Gun owners, firearms dealers, and attorneys are now trying to understand what the decision means in practice. Some people may be covered by the ruling, while others could still be required to follow existing federal procedures. State laws add another layer of complexity. Even if certain federal restrictions no longer apply to a particular person under this ruling, individual states can have their own laws and regulations. The Justice Department could also still appeal the decision, so the legal fight may be far from over. Gun rights advocates have celebrated the Texas ruling as an important victory. They have long argued that restrictions imposed under the National Firearms Act violate constitutional protections provided by the Second Amendment. Gun control advocates, however, have criticized the ruling and raised concerns about what weakening federal restrictions could mean for public safety. The Justice Department's decision not to stop the ruling from taking effect has therefore attracted almost as much attention as the ruling itself. The situation also reflects a broader transformation in American gun law following major Supreme Court decisions